course, the Relational Wellness Roadmap. So what does relational even mean? And what do I mean when I say relational wellness? Well, the dictionary definition of relational is concerning the way in which two or more people or things are connected. In a broader philosophical sense, I think being relational means acknowledging the interconnectedness of human nature and the important role that relationships play in our lives. On a more practical level, I kind of think of relational as the ability to have connection through differences and a way of showing up in our relationships that's in alignment with your shared vision and values. In terms of this program, I think being relational is an interdependent, co-created process. It can't really be defined in any simple way, which is why I created this whole roadmap to help us find our way toward being more relational with our partner across time. So for our purposes, I'm going to try to define relational wellness broadly as involving 4 core concepts or principles that we're going to call the 4 C's. And those are connection, consciousness, compassion, and communication. We've all heard these words many times before, and each of us may assign slightly different meaning to each of them. Here, I'm going to define how the Relational Wellness Roadmap defines these concepts in a very general way. The reality is that these are broad aspirational ideas that for many of us are incredibly hard to put into actionable steps and practices. And so the reason I've included these bigger concepts as the guiding principles is because I want us to be able to quickly remember those overarching principles. So the 4 C's is the mnemonic we can use to quickly identify and bring to mind the changes in new patterns or new neural networks that we're creating through this journey of growth and learning. The how-to of actually embodying these guiding concepts and principles in the day-to-day of our relationships is where the 10 skills roadmap comes in. So the skills are going to break these bigger ideas into actionable steps that you can start practicing in your relationships now. Some skills target 1 or 2 principles, but many of the skills encompass an integration of all these core concepts coming together. The first C is connection. When I say connection, I mean focusing on the safety and security of your emotional bond with your partner and prioritizing this and having a healthy relationship biosphere over winning, self-protection, and being right. Connection is a gut feeling, a felt sense of trust and safety in your body, heart, and nervous system that enables you to relax, let your guard down, and thereby creates the foundation for healthy communication, intimacy, and vulnerability. In our day-to-day, it's also a prioritization and intentionality of working at how you are staying in continuous engagement and interdependence with your partner across days and time. The next core concept is consciousness. Consciousness is the ability to have self-awareness of what you are doing and why, and to be able to slow down and shift from reactive patterns to more relational responses that are in alignment with your integrity and your values. Becoming conscious allows us to have awareness around our thoughts, habits, and patterns, and our bodies, which is a foundational step of transformation and of changing patterns. It is a reality of self-awareness that knows I cannot control or change my partner, but I can focus on my role and notice what is within my power to change and what I am bringing to the patterns in the relationship. Then we have the third C, which is compassion. So compassion is a stance of kindness, tenderness, and generosity toward not only your partner, but also toward yourself as you both try to work on showing up and changing patterns and cycles, which is really hard. It involves a spirit of kindness, curiosity, and understanding as you and your partner work to shift from reactivity and defenses to curiosity and a desire to understand. In sum, it's prioritizing a way of showing up in both your relationship with yourself and your relationship with your partner. The final core concept is communication. We all love to talk about the word communication, right? What do I mean when I say that? By this, I mean a stance of willingness to share your feelings and experiences with openness and vulnerability as an integral part of intimacy and connection. It is also a stance of receptivity as listener to bids, reach outs, and communication from your partner, where you work to listen, be open and receptive and accepting of differences and differing perspectives. I'm guessing to most of us, those 4 C's sound really great in theory. The problem, of course, is the how. Why do so many of us start out wanting these sort of fantasy ideas? And often in the beginning of relationships, we do have them. And then slowly, for many of us, it begins to erode. The next video is going to go briefly into an overview of the 10 skills, which is actually what allows us to break down what steps we need in order to help put the 4 C's into action and to tackle all the obstacles that get in the way or pull us further from showing up in this way. I look forward to seeing you there.